Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give infinite praise, honor, and glory to my power Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rukakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who rule well and who taught us this truth. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect and fellow laborers that are pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth. Okay? Now, Lord's will, this lesson won't be too long, but this is just something that's been weighing on my spirit for a while, which essentially is Lord's will. The title of this video is going to be called Free Will, or free will is a myth. All right, free will is a hoax or a myth. Okay, because us as men of the Lord of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we are forbidden. Yeah, that's a good word. We are forbidden to learning, to accept or to believe that everything happens for a coincidence or luck. All right, which these things are false, man. All right, for luck. All right, as I said before, coincidences, right, or of course free will. All right, with free will, all right, which as you see in the picture, you see you see this cartoon being a puppet, right, and him cutting off the strings that actually control him. All right, which I actually looked up in Google Images, free will, and a lot of bug out images really just showed up. But essentially, I just put this up just to show you that really saying that free will exists is first of all, it's a faithless ass statement. All right, that is probably one of the most faithless things I've ever heard of. All right, free will, believing that there is no power and that we all have just our own mind. All right, that's a faithless ass statement. All right. So right off the bat, I'm just going to start off with this precept in Psalms. This is Psalms 14:1. The fool hath said in his heart, or his lob, and the Hebrew word for heart is lob, meaning your mind, which really pertains to your spirit. All right, I'm going to read that again. The fool hath said in his heart that there is no God, that they are corrupt, and they have done abominable works, and there is none that doeth good. And this is part of it. You should see the picture, even though it's just a demonstration, just to show you again that that they're abominable works, all right, and they are corrupt, all right, and they have done abominable works, evil, right? We can't just accept that everything it's just a coincidence, Part of believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is that believing that He's a true living power, all right, believing that He has total, absolute, 100% control over everything, all right. All right, if 100%, or Salaki, if all had a numeric value to it, it would be 100%, everything. All right, that includes animals, right? That the beasts of the earth, all right, the weather, and of course us, every soul on the planet has a set role to play. All right, everything that happens in our day-to-day lives is for a reason. All right, that's why as men of the Lord of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we say Lord's will, or Abaratazah, Father willing. All right, because we have say nothing of what we do. All right, that's why it's important to pray. That's why it's important to say Lord's will. All right, Lord willing. All right, because we don't have a say in whether we're gonna do this or not. All right, if it's the Lord's will, aka if the Lord will allow me to do so, I can do it. Because we don't have to say nothing. It's all through the Lord that we get anything done. All right, because it's all in His control. It's all in His power. Whether we do this or whether we do that, it's in His power if we're allowed even to live. Right, and the scriptures speak about His great mercies. So and as I said though, everyone on earth has a special has a role to play. All right, in His movie, so to speak. All right. That's why the scriptures say the Lord created the waster for destruction, roughly paraphrasing. All right, and then who's that? That's Esau Edom, as I read in Psalms 14:1. I'm gonna read this again. Psalms 14:1. The fool has said in his heart, and who's that fool? That's Esau Edom, right? The so-called white man. Right? It's his spirit to be a vile person. All right, to believe in such things and to come up with these type of abominable works. All right. Which is really deceitful, because Jake has faith, All right, and Esau does too. Don't be mistaken. All right, because he does have faith, but he has what? He has faith in himself. All right, that's why the scriptures say, "The pride of thine heart has deceived thee." All right, because he really believes that he's not in control right now. All right, and of course we all gone through that phase, especially in the beginning stages of this truth. We all thought we had our own ways, but hey, the scriptures say the man's going is of the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing again. All right. All right, because as I said before, that's a faithless thing to say, man. To say that because you're essentially saying the Lord has limits according to His power. I don't even like saying that, man. But that's essentially what you're saying. All right. If you believe that everything is of luck, or that bullshit, excuse my vocabulary. All right. Anyway, this is Jeremiah 10:23. O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Okay? So, hey, essentially, right here, right, Jeremiah is letting you know that what? I'm going to read that again. O Lord, I know that the way of man, or the way that we live, what? Is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. All right, so what does that mean? All right, to all those faithless heathens, right? And you even got faithless people of our nation. What does that mean? It's not in us. It's not in us to believe or to do that we have our own will. We have absolute nothing. We have no control in this. All right, and that's why the Lord gives people illusions to think that they do have free will. All right. Oh, and you know what? And same thing with the heathens, right? Romans 15, things written aforetime is written for our learning, right? The Lord gives false faith or false confidence into these idols, all right? The other gods of the other nations, all right? So lucky, he gives false confidence and trust in these other gods, and they really think that wood and stone can talk or speak, right? That's another part of how the Lord gives false illusions to people. All right, and this is one of them. All right, believing that we really have a mind of our own, which we really don't. That's why also one of the prayers says, if I'm not mistaken, in Psalms, that or I think it's in Proverbs, if I can get that real quick. All right, because with us, right, because we serve the living power of Israel, okay, and and as we know, that we can actually ask the Lord for Him to direct our steps. How can He do that if He had absolute no control? Or His power is just in His limits? Or so lucky that He has limits in His power. All right? And that's also why in the story of Exodus, all right, when the children of Israel was delivered out of the hands of Egypt, what the Lord said, what? Specifically, He said that I will harden the Pharaoh's heart. All right? See, he had the choice to just, but the Lord had the power, all right, to just put the spirit on Pharaoh, just to deliver the children of Israel, the children of Israel right then and there. But He did it. He said He hardened the Pharaoh's heart. Why? To just show His power. That's just how the Lord wanted it. But just to show you again that's just how the Lord works. All right, He did that. It wasn't the Pharaoh's mind, but he said that It said, roughly paraphrasing, I will harden the Pharaoh's heart. Just showing you again that's not in man to direct his own steps. Okay? This is Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. All right? That's why it says also in Jeremiah, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. All right? Because, hey, the Lord has the power to let you do that, to let your spirit fall into your own heart. Which is why we pray. We should be praying every day for the Lord not to do so. Verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path. You see, you can ask the Lord for as long as we keep doing what He said to do, which is to praise Him in truth and sincerity, that He shall direct thy paths. See, He has the power to do so. He has the power to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. All you have to do is ask. Just showing you that there's no limit to the amount of power He has, man. That's why As I said before, he controls beast. You know, he lets the beast live. He lets the beast die. Same with every soul on the planet Earth. You know, this is Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no other power but of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. You see, because contrary to popular belief, the Lord's only a good, happy, right, loving, only good things that please the flesh type of power. All right, but that's false, which is another part of his false deceits of Edom Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, because the Lord's in control of both things. The Lord's in control of all things. All right, He created spirits that are for the evil day. All right, Satan works for the Most High. All right, that's why and Satan does his bidding. He does whatever the Lord says to do. That's what Satan will do. All right, the Lord's in control of all powers, evil and good, to do His will. You know, that's why He puts the spirit on some people to just kill without remorse. Right, you know. He does it. He puts the spirit on to not feel emotion. You know, to be a full on killing machines. You know, just like that. You got that shooter at that mosque. You know, but the Lord put the spirit on him to do so. All right. And read that again. Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. All right. Yeah, it's just Him. There's no one else. The Heavenly Father Yahweh. Right. Next to His Son Yahushai. You know, because the Lord made sure that you as a man of the Lord, we gotta understand that nothing just happens for a reason. That's why, brothers, and you can pray for it. Lord may send you signs, with numbers. Numbers have meaning to it. Like the number 7 is the number of completion. You may see 444 a lot, which the number 4 means it's the number of mercy. And that happens for what again? It's not a coincidence. But you may also see have faith, believe, on trucks or cars, your stickers and whatnot. And then that might uplift you. Well, that wasn't by coincidence. The Lord said, the Lord had it to where that you saw this, and then that you saw that message that the Lord's trying to tell you something. That's also why the Lord had it to where clocks may not work, or your phone may glitch out. It may say 4 minutes. You want to wake up like at like 8 a.m. But the next thing you know, you wake up maybe earlier, maybe later, because it's all through the Lord. It's all through the ordinances of the Heavenly Father that we make sure that we see things, or that this will happen throughout our day. The Lord may have it to where that you call in sick to work, and the next thing you know, you see in the news that there was a shootout in that same workplace that you work at. That's why when we see these things, we gotta give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because what He just delivered us. Just as an example. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 18:1. He that liveth forever created all things in general. As I said before, every soul, every beast, right? They're all spirits. Even plants, they're spirits. They give praises to the Most High. Even the beast. Verse 2. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but He. Verse 3. Who governeth the world with the palm of His hand, and all things obey His will. For He is the King of all, by His power dividing holy things among them from profane. All right, see? I'm going to read that again. Verse 3. Who governeth the world with the palm of His hand, and all things obey His will. And you know what else? You get the scriptures say also, that the earth is the Lord's footstool. All right. As spiritual men, as servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we gotta believe these things. All right. We're not allowed to believe in coincidences or luck, or as the depiction that you see in this picture. All right. But we're forever gonna be slaves to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and we love it. All right. Because He cares for us, not these other nations. Or only the nation of Israel, all right, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, according to the Bible, okay? And so what? It says, by His power dividing holy things among them from profane. And one of those profane things, of course, having unbelief. All right, and I gotta admit, man, being around people that are just as unfaithless as described in Psalms, that's pretty disturbing. You know, you get that meme from Star Wars. I think Darth Vader said, you know, I find your lack of faith disturbing. Something along those lines. You know, because you know, it's disturbing, man. People really think that they're just living. You know, and everything that works in our power, especially like even physically speaking, logically speaking, in our bodies. We have an immune system. You know how convenient that is? An immune system? Because of a big, so-called Big Bang. You know? That's a faithless ass statement, man. You know? This is Zephaniah 3:5. The just Lord, Yahweh, is in the midst thereof. All right, you see it right now. You know? The scriptures say that his eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. No? He has his angels protecting the men of the Lord. And ever since birth. You know? Through all the ages as well. Right? He's the father of spirits. All right? Because the scriptures, of course, talk about there's reincarnation, you know, according to the Bible. All right? This is I'm gonna read that again. Zephaniah 3:5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof, and he will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not. So, essentially, what? The Lord's in control of life and death. He decides who lives and dies, and who keeps living, and who's gonna die the next day, all right, or the next hour. You know, right? And there's plenty of articles just showing you when people get a taste of that judgment, man. And it's pretty scary. That's why we gotta fear the Lord 24/7, man. For as long as we live, you know. It's important that we do so. We do so because the Lord is in control of everything, evil and good. You know, all spirits. Edom, Esau, all right, the Israelites. He's in control of Moab, all these other nations, Elam. You know, I keep going. He's in control of every spirit. You know. But of course, me explaining that. Of course, because that spirit of really unfaithfulness comes from the profane spirit that the Lord hath poured out, that the Lord hath poured out on Edom, Esau, right? Because the Lord did that. It wasn't even of Edom himself. These Edomites, the Lord didn't just put it's not of Edom to just be an unfaithful person. The Lord gave him that spirit, right? So let's close out with this precept in Obadiah. This is the book of Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, and this is part of it. All right, he's lying to himself, you know. He really thinks he's this man in this depiction of the picture. All right, he really thinks he has control over his life. That's what he believes. All right. Verse 3. I read this again. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? Right? And ultimately, that's going to be us, Lord's will, the elect out of the nation of Israel, with the fire and indignation of the Lord. That's how the Lord is going to devour Edom, Esau, for being an unfaithless bastard, man. You know? All right? And that's what the scriptures say also, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right? So, Lord's will, you brothers were edified with this little lesson that was heavy on my spirit. You know, so with that, I'm going to say, call all Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who rule well and who taught us this truth. And peace and salutations to the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect. You brothers keep it pushing, all right? Shalom.